Hey family, it's a windy day here in sunny South Florida. As you can see, rain clouds over my head. At least it's cool and the wind is keeping the mosquitoes away, so I'm out here making dinner. I'm making pressed chicken on the grill. So good. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys because, you are my fans, all 9 of you. Hi. I thought I would, just come to you and have a conversation. I saw in one of the many groups I'm in on Facebook, someone had made a post. I wasn't sure if it was in a writing group or a nerd group I was in, although 8 times out of 10 I'm fairly certain it was a writing group. But the question was, what was the worst book to screen or book to movie adaptation you've ever seen? I have 2. One of them is not so bad, it's understandable. The other one, no. So the one that's not so bad was The Scorch Trials, the second Maze Runner. I get that they put most of what happened in the second book in the first movie. But I don't know, maybe I shouldn't excuse it too much, but what they were doing with that one, and I didn't watch the whole movie, I'm going to be hand to God with you guys, because I was like, no, that was the one Maze Runner movie I read the book first, and I shouldn't have done that, because I was like, no, that's not how it happened, that doesn't happen in this book, no. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, the second Maze Runner book was boring as hell. They spent the first third of the book, which would have been the first act of the movie, figuring out how to escape from a warehouse, pretty much, and then the rest of the 2/3 of the book is them crossing the Scorch, which is this desert that is the United States now. So I get that they had to make it more interesting, but I think what made the Scorch Trials so interesting was that it was more of a character-driven story than it is action and narrative. Like the first one had a lot of character-driven story, but a lot of it was like, oh my god, are they gonna get away from the Reapers? Oh my god. So yeah, I get why they messed that one up. Now, the one that is completely, totally, 100%, 100% unforgivable is The Sum of All Fears. Now, me and Tom Clancy go way back when it comes to reading his books. His books are technical, slow-paced in the beginning because they're describing a lot of, what's going on and how things work, and espionage is not that interesting on paper. In a movie, great. On paper, So authors the fact that authors like him and John le Carre and all those people that write those espionage, military-based fiction, and they actually have people that actually buy their books and all that stuff, that proves that they're good at what they do. Yeah, hold on one second. Sorry, I had to check the chicken. Anyway, so The Sum of All Fears. One summer, I think I was in the summer between 10th and 11th grade, I was on a Tom Clancy kick. I don't know why. I think it was because The Sum of All Fears was coming out. My mom had gotten the book and she said, I'm going to read the book and I'm going to go see the movie. I was like, okay, cool. When you done, holla at your girl. So it took her about 2-3 weeks to read the book. Alright. That's cool. Whatever. To each their own. I get the book, and it took me. Oh, good Lord! It took me 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks, almost a whole month to read that book. And by the time I got a hold of it, I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna take me about a week and a half to read. A week and a half, 2 weeks to read the book. Then I go see the movie. I never read a Tom Clancy novel at that point. So I get a hold of it and I'm like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? But I struggled and I persevered. I was going to summer school at the time, so I had to pay attention to my teachers. But any opportunity I got, I spent it reading that book. I went to the movies with my family to celebrate my cousin's birthday, and when we were waiting for our movie to start, right across the hall was The Sum of All Fears. I had not finished the book yet, and I went into I was going to go walk into the theater, and my cousin grabbed me and she goes, no, you haven't read the book yet, finish reading the book. I was like, no, but the movie's right here, I have to see the movie. I could have seen that movie and not spoiled a damn thing for myself in the book. The only thing that movie had in common with the book, and you need to see my mobster hands going right now, because or my Cuban dad talking about Fidel Castro hand right now. The only thing that movie had in common with the book was the title and the name of the characters. I don't know who was smoking what thinking, let's take Jack Ryan, who's established as a man in his 50s, and let's have Ben Affleck play him. And let's, make it so, oh, holy crap.
You seen the dog?
I think your mom took her. Say hi to my vlog.
Well, mom took?
I don't know, she wasn't here when I left.
Oh, okay. She's missing.
She's missing?
She's been gone for 5 minutes.
I don't know how to edit this out on my phone, so thanks for the drama. So, apparently Ginger's missing. Lord. We have a bad reputation with dogs, but whatever. Yeah, so they completely changed the plot of the story. They were like, and I think Tom Clancy just did not give 3 shits anymore. He's like, give me my money, I'm gonna go fuck off to my personal submarine. I don't think he had a personal submarine, and honestly, I'm sorry if anything I just said was disparaging to the memory of Tom Clancy. He was a really good writer. I just had trouble, but yeah, so The Sum of All Fears is pretty intense. Really bad. And it made me so mad because my mom bought that movie on DVD. Yeah, not Blu-ray, DVD. And I was like so excited. I was like, oh my god, I was vibrating like 3 inches off the ground, like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna get to watch it. Oh, so mad. So that's like one of my major things as a writer, is like I worry about stuff like that. And I was like, I can't worry about that because none of my stuff is gonna get published if I worry about that. Like, not even the stuff I'm trying to self-publish, you know. So yeah, so I guess I'm leaving the question up to you. What would you think is the worst book to film adaptation out there? I know that a lot of people think that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the one with Gene Wilder from the 70s, was bad, so much so that Roald Dahl would not allow them to use the title of the book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Was a bad book to screen adaptation. But let me tell you something, that foolishness that they put out with Johnny Depp, it was closer to the book, but I don't think that was much better. You know, but I could just be me being being partial to nostalgia in my childhood or whatever. But you know, yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I can't worry. I always like to think that if I was lucky enough to have my work translated into a movie, I would be on set every day. I would have been the one to write the screenplay because I know how to do that. I took a screenplay writing class. I would be there on set every day, just like all up in the director's business. You know, I would honestly love it if my trilogy that I'm working on still were to be directed by Ridley Scott, because what he did with The Martian, him and whoever wrote the screenplay, like tell me in the comments who wrote the screenplay for that. They did an amazing job. They did a good job trimming out all the hyper technical stuff so it didn't get boring, as well as finding a good way to edit out Mark Watney's bad language to make it PG-13. It was fun and creative and everything like that. And I mentioned the screenwriter in particular because there are some lines taken directly from the book. There was one line about Chiwetel Ejiofor's character was supposed to be played by an Indian person, but got a black man. I ain't mad at it. So what they did was, the line was saying, "I'm Hindu. I believe in many gods." So what they did was, they adapted it to the "I'm half Hindu, half Baptist" to make up for the fact that it's a black guy. I believe in many gods, and it's like, yo, that's how you respect the source material. So Hollywood producers, I doubt y'all watching this. I hope y'all are watching this, because I got a lot of short stories and a lot of ideas to make awesome movies, because I'm a cinephile as well as a bibliophile. Respect the source material. That's all that I say. Respect the source material. And I guess that's the theme or the thesis statement for this video. And I hope you guys are staying safe. I gotta check on the chicken. It's getting dark. Dun, dun, dun. Chicken's almost done, and my nephew's home, so I gotta go. But yeah, that was my nephew. All right, happy people, party people, stay creative.